couple things for you after we get done. One, I need to see Addison Crow right over here in just a minute, please. And the second one is counselors with the master keys. I'll just get those outside when you leave. And if one of the counselors got a key turned into him yesterday, please bring that with you. All right, let me figure it out. Okay, I'll try to figure it out. Thank you. At 11 o'clock, the dorms are supposed to be open so you can get into the lobbies to get your luggage. And hopefully nobody locked it in their rooms. So if you do, you're going to have to find me. Okay? Hope you all had a great week, and thanks for coming, and hope to see most of you next year. Good luck this year.
We had one other lost and found item last night at dinner. One singular AirPod. It's yours? Ooh. Ooh. 20. Four. 10. 10. 10. You guys don't play along.
Thank you.
You were supposed to play along. Make him do it again? Okay. All right, you can see up on the big board, teams 4 through 12.
10.
I will tell you,
10.
this was an extremely close competition. At the end, our top 3 teams were separated by something like 5 points, first through third. Much like in cross-country races, think to yourself, what could I have done just a little bit better? What challenge could I have maybe not shown up in slides for so I could run a little bit faster? With that, our top 3 are
Those are places 4 through 12 and your top 3 for the 2024 Team Challenge competition. Drum roll, please. Here you go. First place goes to team number 3. Second place, team number 2, and third place, team number 10.
I need 2 representatives from group 3 to come up for the not. Oh yeah, you can too.
I want to thank my mom and my dad, both of them.
Let's give our round of applause for that awesome trophy that was made by our wonderful college counselors. I must say that is one of the most unique trophies we've ever had here at camp, for sure. Now here's Coach Ireland.
All right. End of the week. Hopefully you had a good week. It seems like just yesterday we were here on Sunday night. Welcoming everybody. So for the ones of you who have been here, this is kind of recap for the week, a little send-off type thing. We do this, and then we followed up with a video at the end. So I'm going to go over a couple things here and hope you give you a little more wisdom from in addition to what you gained on the week. So I think it's important to start off with thank yous. You know, I don't think that's said enough nowadays. And when I say it, but mean it, you know, some people just casually thank you and run along. So I have a decent number of people to thank here. So I want you to bear with me because it's important. These people do a lot for the success of this camp. Some have just started, some have been doing it for 39 years. So we have 48 people that made this happen this week, you know, that were here. Starting with, I want to thank our counselors. I'm going to read off all the names: Travis, Catherine, Kagan, Mason, Bennett, Ryan, Maxie, Calvin, Aiden, Kayla, Mason, Lawson, Gabe, Courtney, Brooke, Ashton, Jake, Luke, Molly, and Haley. Let's give them a round of applause. Most of these kids, as they said here, were here before. They come back, they take a week out of their summer to spend time with you guys. Hopefully they made an impression on you. There's contact information for them. Reach out. They'd love to give you more information of how they got where they are, questions, anything like that. And we encourage you to come back. The caveat is you can't come back until after your sophomore year in college. NCAA rules. So, you know, if you're a senior, we'd love to see you next summer. You can come back, but you have to pay as a normal campler. But please come back and register and help us be a counselor because you guys do a wonderful job as this group have, and you can kind of pay it forward. So thank you to our counselors, speakers, Steve Butler, Al Dorner, Dorian Hayden, Ann Mazur, Oli Olamagoki, Pete Cherry, and Lance Harden. Lance is here. It was a mini session edition. Has done a great job local down the road. So let's thank our speakers. And then our staff that we have here, I want to thank Jeff Van Horn, who so gratefully for all these years has done our camp store. I don't know if he makes a profit. You know, part of it is, obviously he doesn't want to lose money. Part of it is his love for the sport and providing knowledge about how to be better, how to stay healthy. If you go to his running stores and see what he does, it's about making people better and staying healthy. He really cares. There's not a lot of people out there like him that run stores. Some of them run it just to make money. He does it. He stays involved with this camp because he likes what we're doing to make people better and give you knowledge, and he fits right in for what we've done. So I really want to thank Jeff for everything he provides and does for us. Next, I want to thank Bill Walton. Bill's our kind of person on the ground here. He's a local guy per se to keep this thing going. If we need to go check out a new run or come over here and see if the track was done this year, look at other avenues to do things, trainers. We certainly couldn't do what we do or have things run as smoothly this week if it wasn't for all the behind the scenes stuff that Bill has done for us. So thank you, Bill. Kevin Sowers drives from Wisconsin every year, anywhere between, I think it's 12 to 17 hours, depending on the traffic. He's been doing it forever. He's a local Manchester high school, loves this place, and he's one of the ones that it wouldn't be the same without him, everything he does. And putting up with Dave and trying to keep Coach Davis sane this week is, I think, the biggest part of his job, and he does that really well. So thank you, Kevin. Lindsay Mettinger, she is our trainer that's here every week, that's here 24/7. She's done a wonderful job. You know, we always need someone around to help us and to help you, and she really cares about the athletes. So we want to thank Lindsay. She's already left for the day, but thank you, Lindsay. Tim Conley. Tim's been here for over, I think, close to 30 years now. Again, another person that you guys don't see a lot up front, up here. He was up here this week, but he does a lot of things behind the scene. We're talking about ideas, things to do at camp, how to keep it running. He's a vital role in that, so thank you, Tim. Matt Walton, guy upstairs there, he does probably the most almost of anything behind the scenes, whether it's website stuff, the band stuff you're getting, putting together new stuff we're going to get here. The backpacks was Coach Walton's idea this year. Hopefully it seemed like you guys liked them. A lot of the little things that he does to promote a lot of the stuff during the year, putting stuff on the websites for you guys to see, and then obviously running the audio and stuff when we're here. Thank you, Matt. Kelly Deegan, another one. She is, I think we found, the longest serving person to be here. She's missed 1 year. She was here in the first year in 1986. Nobody else has been here now that's been here that long, and she keeps coming back. Again, a person who's vital to the success and the continued success of the camp, but kind of does it in kind of a behind-the-scenes role. Pete Augram, you saw him up here. The team challenge has really changed the dynamic of the camp, you know, and it didn't, I don't know when we added it. I'm pretty sure we had it pre-pandemic, but it's really made it a lot more fun, I think, to hear people and watch you guys get excited. You know, we're here to talk about running and run and learn, but that dynamic makes it a lot of fun, I think, adds something you guys really enjoy. And Pete has taken that over, and he's done a very good job with that, organized it. That's a lot of work during the week, so thank you, Pete. Joaquin Sosa, new this year, local, Eastern Mennonite High School. We were looking for someone to continue our tradition of putting together video, pictures, things like that, and I'm not sure how we got connected, but back probably in January or February, he reached out and heard about it, and it's going to be great. You guys have seen him with that tiny camera taking thousands of pictures and videos, so we're super excited to see what he's put together for us, and he's been a great person to have in camp too. Brings a lot of liveliness, excitement for the sport. He's been our de facto day camper organizer. So we have our day camper numbers have been getting bigger, so we got to find out how to bring them in and make them feel like they belong, even though they're not spending the night. So Joaquin has stepped in and helped us there, so I want to thank him. And then we get down to Coach Davis. You know, he's my high school coach. You know, he's been here forever. You know, we got a text about a week ago, I think. He said, I'm not sure I can come to camp for various reasons, but I was like, oh my God, we're in trouble. You know, not only does he do stuff behind the scenes with everything he does here, but he really, you know, I couldn't do this, we couldn't be here without him and everything he's done over the years. It's not just doing it, but doing it right and staying ahead of things and not waiting until the last minute to get things done. Because if you do wait till the last minute, things don't run smoothly, it becomes hectic, and he's very good about that. Again, he lives 2 hours away, but will drive down here and meet with people. And this year, you guys don't know, I don't think it's affected your experience, but it's been a lot tougher, changes at the university here, people we're dealing with, but he's kept things rolling and made this week happen. And I really want to thank Dave for everything he's done now and in the future and in the past, because this place is Blue Ridge for what Dave has done. Thank you. So that's our group here of individuals that we have. Some bigger groups we want to thank. Centara Regional Medical. They provide our extra trainers that come just for the runs. I mentioned earlier, Coach Walton, Bill handles that, but they do a great job. And they don't come to just any camps. You know, they come if we do things right, the right ratios, if our kids are polite and we deal with them correctly and you listen to them. All that factors in them wanting to stay involved in this camp. So I want to say thank you to them and thank you guys for being respectful and honoring them. Eastern Mennonite University, obviously where we are, you know, but especially the dining hall staff and Lizzie. Lizzie has been the new person this year that we've had to communicate with to have the camp. But the dining hall staff, they really enjoy us. They like working with us. They like making food for us because we clean up. We take care of ourselves. We respect the space. So I thank you guys for doing that, and I thank them for providing the services they provided. And then our buses. Obviously, this camp wouldn't be what it is if we didn't buses. We couldn't go up to the mountains. We wouldn't want to come here and run every day from campus. It's nice in the mornings, but we want to do more. They've been doing the butt riding the buses, I don't know, at least probably 15 years when we had to go to school, from school buses to big buses. So I want to thank LW Transportation. They're personal friends of mine and a lot of people here too, so thank you to them. All right, so that covers our thank you. Let's give all those individuals a round of applause. Thank you. All right, we're going to do a quick kind of week in review because I think it's important to kind of go over what we've learned. I'm going to kind of do it in chronological order the way it's happened. So we started on Monday morning with Steve Butler. And one of the things we mentioned coming here, the purpose of camp, is to learn knowledge, learn how to be better. You know, leave the sport being excited. Challenge yourself mentally and physically. Create new friendships. So we started off on Monday with Steve Butler. He's been here every year, but he's a person, I think everyone would agree, that you don't get tired of seeing because you need to stay healthy. Every time he presents, he shows you something new. You know, you learn something that you can take away to keep yourself healthy. I say this to recruits, to kids on my team. It's hard to be better. It's hard to be successful if you're hurt more often than you're healthy. And Steve gave us a lot of information. You know, the couple of pointers he said, try hard, do things correctly. I tell my kids all the time on a team I work with, if you're doing drills bad, you're going to run bad. If you're not doing things correctly, bad habits are going to make you worse. Do it correctly. He also said that when you get injury once, I don't know if I agree with this a little bit, but it was interesting to hear him say as a PT, he puts you in the category of you're injury prone with just one injury. And the reason he says that is 95% of people don't fully rehab that one injury, and that can lead to a host of ongoing injuries after that. So the reason I mention that, he mentions it, stay on top of things. Don't stop your PT, your physical therapy too soon because it's annoying, you don't feel like going. It'll come back and haunt you later. Cadence, so I told you about that. I wouldn't panic if your cadence isn't above 160, but it's something to look at. Evening session, we had Coach Conley. You know, it was refreshing to hear, but I've known him for years to say this, about competitiveness. Being competitive, it's fun to win. But we also know not everyone's going to win, but there's not a reason not to have that desire to want to win. You know, realistically, one person wins the one race you're in, but you still should have that desire to win. He talked about resiliency, learn how to deal with failure. There's a lot of people out there that run the safe race. They never take a risk. If you don't take a risk, you're probably never going to have that breakthrough. You know, it's going to have a solid race. You're going to be dependable. But once in a while, you just got to take that risk. Appreciate the small victories. That's huge. You know, you talk to athletes all the time. You don't get caught up. You can always make a bad race sound great and sounds like, hey, we did something really well. And I really believe that every race you should take away something that's positive, regardless of how bad it went. But sometimes you got to appreciate what happened that day, and what you did that day was the best you could do. So take away the small victories. And he said success is a choice. Choose wisely. That's true. You know, and not to say someone can't contribute to a team if they're not all about winning. There's other ways that you can make a team successful. But if you choose to be successful, then you're going to work towards that. Then we went to, after Coach Conley, we had Olu, our Olympian. He's always very exciting. He loves, and he came out in his talk, being here. You know, and that's because of the experience he got from Coach Davis, this camp, what it provided for him, the position he's put himself for in life. He went over mindfulness. Emotions are just information from the body. Pretty strong information. Sometimes it's overwhelming, but he said use that information to be successful. He says remain open to opportunities. You never know what opportunities are going to come around. You know, he's got a huge opportunity to be over in Paris filming the Olympics that he probably didn't know happened 15 years ago, but he wanted to be part of the Olympics, and he is. And lastly, he said, bet on yourself. You know, who better to bet on than yourself? You know yourself, you know what you're capable of, but that's your young people you're developing. That's what you really want to think about. You want to get where your teammates can depend on you, you can depend on yourself. Who better than to bet on yourself? All right, then we move on. Tuesday morning, we had our mini sessions. Mini sessions, you know, 9 different groups. Hopefully you got a lot of information out of those. The idea is it's a small setting. You can ask questions, individual, give our high school coaches a chance to present. You can learn something from anyone. I don't care how little they've been coaching or how long they've been coaching. You can pick up points from someone else. So hopefully you got a lot out of those mini sessions. Continue that on Tuesday evening. We had our yoga. You know, yoga is one of those things I put into doing the little things. You know, you need to do little things outside of just running. I think to be a good runner, especially a distance runner in cross country, you got to run. That's the main thing we're doing, running. But the little things like yoga, stretching, doing all those things make a big difference. And she's designed something that's running yoga for runners, and it makes a difference. She runs. She's a highly successful runner. She's put this together. Coach Walton is going to put some stuff on our website that takes you to her website to give you more information, and she'd love to hear from you guys if you have any questions. You can see her enthusiasm. She just likes yoga. She said, hey, if I can come to this camp every year and 20 more people do yoga, then it's worth it. So I want to thank Ann. Wednesday morning, again, this person who came in, Dorian Hayden, it's our idea of giving you more information. And obviously, a psychologist, our sport is huge. You can say 70, 80, 90% mental. It's definitely more than 50% mental, or more than 50% mental. Physical part is huge, but if you don't have the mindset to go along with it, doesn't matter how talented you are. He gave us some ideas of how to be a good teammate, of how to get better, social support, managing anxiety, understand the process of change. You guys are all very young right now. You're going through a lot of changes in your life, friendships, your body's changing, mentally you're changing. You got to learn to kind of work with that, but you also got to learn to find a support system around you that can help you. And helping you is not always just telling you you're fine, but sometimes it's telling you things you don't want to hear that you can learn and grow from. But take some things away from Dorian about being mindful, focus on the present, be in the mentally and physical exercises you can do to calm yourself before races, during races, tests, anything like that. Try to make yourself better. Every situation, try and review it and learn from it. All right, then we moved on to the evening. It was an interesting evening with Coach Dorner. You know, we ask him to talk every year because I think every year is different. We never know what we're going to get from Coach Dorner. And this was a very good talk, lively, but he had some really good things to say. You know, he kind of focused on learning to be a good teammate. Track and field is a sport of individuals, but it's also teammates. You know, there's not very few of you out there that are going to accomplish anything without your teammates. So he's trying to tell you how to be a good teammate, how to be a strong leader, how to motivate 4 through 7. You know, he showed you his team went 1-2 and like 20, and then, you know, they didn't win the state meet. I've had a team last 2 years ago, my women's team in college. We've had 3 women at the national meet, and our team wasn't there. 5 points out of the last person. We've been at the national meet 2 years in a row. You know, and you can't get mad at that 1/5 person because there's a lot of people that could have been that 5th person. So go out there and work hard. Figure out a way to make those around you better. And then Coach Sherry, Pete Sherry, high school team, college teammate, you know, he wanted to talk about enjoying the sport and working hard. You know, he didn't want any negative energy. You know, I tell the athletes I work with on my team, you're welcome to stay on the team as long as you're a net positive. If at the end of the day you're a net negative, you're not helping anyone, including yourself, so you find something else to do. But Pete wants to be around people that are excited and work hard. He said the same thing about staying healthy, find a way. Key thing he said is your body. Stress your body, rest, and adapt. That's how our sport works. You have to push your body to a point, beat it up a little bit, then rest, and it adapts, and you raise the level, which you guys know is your fitness gets better. But you need to figure out how that works for every individual, and your rest is so key, all of those things, but you got to teach your body to adapt. You know, I'm going through this with my current team now with, to be a good cross-country runner, I believe you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. So how do you get your body better? You press it hard, it adapts. So you got to be used to being uncomfortable to get better. And that's what Pete said about adapting. He said, prove yourself daily, earn it. You look where he came from. Literally, when he walked on, and me and my classmates saw him when we were freshmen his sophomore year, and we obviously done some research, and he was on the team, we're like, we're never losing to that guy. You know, no way. What he did last year, almost got kicked off. He's a 10-minute miler in high school. He's at Georgetown. But Pete carried that with him, but he was a great teammate. It wasn't like he had a chip on his shoulder. Like he's just going, I'm going to prove, and I'm not going to let this team down. If I'm going to get in the top 5, I'm going to make sure I'm there every week. If I'm going to be on that relay, I'm not going to be the slow leg. You know, and that kind of went through the entire team. We all wanted to have something of Pete in us. You know, and I encourage you guys to do that. If you're that person who's on the team, you don't know why, figure out a way to make yourself relevant. You know, figure out a way to make your teammates want you to be there. All right, Thursday, we went back to our mini session, and the evening was the counselor night. I think the counselor night, from what I've seen, is another highlight of the week. There's a lot of classroom type stuff we do, and you need to do that while you're here. But I think last night's a lot of fun. I think the counselors enjoy it. They give you a lot of useful, they provide a fun way to end the week that they organize, and they do it. So I want to thank you for them, and thank you for all of you participating. All right, wrap up here. Points of observation during the week. I mentioned this up here, cell phones. I know you guys have heard it. I'm all over it about my kids. Yes, there can be a lot of useful information there and keeping up with stuff, but you also miss a lot of stuff. You know, challenge yourself once in a while. Look at your screen time. Look at what it is. Try and cut it down. Try and be better about it. You know, spend time with teammates, just talking to them. I know you can text back and forth, pictures, that's great, but sometimes just kind of recognize how much you're on those things. And really pay attention to people. You know, I'm guilty of it. Cafeteria, people be talking, and you're trying to half listen, half be on your phone, do something else. Really try and listen to people occasionally. And be your own person. You know, I'm seeing a lot in my role, recruiting people, and even running this camp. Parents are going to take the lead for all you guys. They mean well, but I see things now where parents are basically living your life for you. Be yourselves. Stand up to your parents. They want to guide. They want to help you, but stand up. They learn from you. They're obviously usually the most important person in your life, but learn how to think on your own. Learn how to represent yourself. You know, take their information, their wisdom, but learn how to do something, and be careful where you get that information. Back to the phones. There's a lot of stuff being pushed around on phones. You don't know where you're reading. You don't know where the source came. You can read it all, but think, challenge, question everything. All right? A couple people we mentioned earlier in the week, I did, and Ulu mentioned it too, Coach Helmer and Coach Morgan. It's been a tough week, especially Coach Helmer, Coach Morgan. Coach Morgan passed away on November 9th, 2023. 12 state cross-country team titles, 4 individual titles. Incredible person, did probably just as much for those high school teams, if not more, than he did for the mountain biking community where he lived, building trails. He was out there almost to the last week when he could barely walk, fixing things. Stan was a guy, Coach Morgan, you saw him in the dining halls where people saw him the last couple of years. Him and Coach Helmer were different. Ron was quiet. Stan was kind of loud and out there. He was not afraid to get in your face, call you out. But they were both honest and passionate. They believed in what they did, and they did it because they wanted you to be better. They brought a big part of this camp. Coach Helmer, he wasn't a stats guy, and I don't know how many of you guys know him. I'll take a little bit just to read something here. 15, he coached 20 years, 15 of them were at Georgetown. He had 52 individual Big Ten titles, 5 Big Ten conference champions, 406 All-Americans, 6 individual NCAA champions. That's just some of what he did. That was the hardware and stuff that he earned. But he did a lot of things behind the scenes getting to know people, and that's what I challenge you to do. Coach Helmer passed away on July 4th, and I always remember that day. July 4th makes it easy, but just the thought of that. He was one of those people in my lives that's going to be hard to forget. There's other people, but other than my father who passed away 2 years ago, he was right there, one of those people you don't imagine is not going to be there forever. But how did he get there? He get there because he was a good, strong, caring person. Did he upset me and other people a lot? Occasionally, but he was honest, and that honesty goes a long way, because he told you where you need to be, what you need to do to get better. Coach Morgan and Coach Helmer weren't just about winning things. They wanted to win, believe me. They wanted to have the best teams. They wanted that because they wanted you guys to have the success. They wanted you to be excited about winning. Were they disappointed when you didn't, or the teams didn't win? Yes, but it was more that they were disappointed in the fact that you didn't get to succeed. So they worked really hard on a daily basis to push you. And some of the things they said, maybe they didn't want you as an athlete, you didn't want to hear at that time. But if you think about it later, they were probably right with what they said. The idea is, hey, if we're honest with ourselves, honest with what we're doing, we can be a lot better. And that's the legacy that those two leave, and it's kind of changing now. A lot of people are about, don't say that to people, make them upset. That's not what they want to hear right now. But I still think, and I'll always remember this from those two, especially Coach Helmer. I've known him since 1983 when he recruited me for Woodbridge as an 8th grader. He is going to find a way to make you better. And what I'm saying this is, your coaches now, they're going to play a role in your life. I didn't know back then, from 1984, 83, that fall, that Coach Helmer was going to play this big a role in my life, from helping me get to Georgetown, being an assistant coach at Georgetown, helped me get my first job at Yale, to partnering with his camp, to now keeping the camp going after he left. My life wouldn't be what it is today without him. Who knows if your coach will be the same. But give them the respect. They're doing this, all those high school coaches, because they want to give back. They're not doing it for the paycheck. They're certainly not doing it for the time away from their families. They're doing it because they're excited about it. They want to bring a passion, and they want to impart that on you. So be respectful of them, learn from them, get to know them. Hopefully they're doing it for the right reasons. The ones that are here this week, I've seen it. They're super excited. So we want that to carry on. And lastly, why do I do this? I do this, as the coaches I just mentioned, to make others happy. Coming into this week, I have 3 children. My oldest son came here, was a camper, then was a counselor. My next daughter came here, same role, didn't end up running. And then this week, Addison came for the first time. Addison's probably the only one here that did not run a step this summer before she got to running camp. Mom was really good at Georgetown, 9-time All-American, runner-up at NCAAs, that type of thing. Brother ran, so we were excited to see, is Addison going to run? Her mom still has dreams of her going to Georgetown and running. The reason I mention it is, we kind of talked her into come, hey, your best friend will come, she runs, do you want to run? The reason I'm wrapping this up and kind of saying this is to see her get excited about running during the week. That's why we do this. They saw us, it's kind of sparked something in her to be excited about the sport. And that's what I saw in a lot of people this week. A love for the sport. Hopefully you found that more this week. You leave here more excited going forward than when you came, whether it was the knowledge you learned, the friendships you made, things like that. That's the idea behind this camp. That's why we're doing this, and hopefully you guys saw that this week. We're super excited that everybody came. hopefully you had a great week, and we wish you the best this fall. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, a couple quick housekeeping items before we show the camp video. You're going to get a link to a survey this afternoon. Please fill it out. That is used to make camp better. So take it seriously. We would appreciate you being honest and constructive with that survey. Additionally, after we show you the camp video, it will be available on our website and then eventually also on Instagram. Finally, let's give Dan Ireland, our camp director, a round of applause for all the hard work that he puts in. You don't realize how hard it is to put on a camp until you start to do a lot of the administrative work, uploading physicals, doing contracts, checks, all kinds of different things. He puts in an enormous amount of time on that, in addition to being a full-time director of track and field and cross country at Columbia University. So when you leave here, make sure you swing by and tell him thank you as well. Ladies and gentlemen, here is this year's camp video. Enjoy.
Scene change, new chapters. My jersey's in the rafters. How I would've done it over harder, better, faster. If I'm Ghost, then I'm Casper. That's why I call you boo. This ain't normally some type of shit I do. I've been caught up in this moment. Wonder if you notice. Now when I'm around you, I can't even focus. When you're not around, I feel down in my lowest. Will you catch me now, or are you just as hopeless? Oh no, is it gravity, or are we falling in love? Is it gravity, or are we falling in love?
I feel like every time I leave here by Thursday or Friday, I never want to leave because I just made such good friends. Make friends, make connections, talk to people.
Running with people, it reminds me why I love this sport so much.
You're right, get to know people. Tap into their passion and their love for the same sport as you.
Falling in love.
Hi, I'm Steve Butler from HCA Virginia Sports Medicine in Richmond, Virginia. I'm a physical therapist, and I'm going to be talking to the kids on how to maximize their potential and minimize injury.
We gonna rise till we fall. They say we got no future at all. They wanna keep us out, can't hold us down anymore. We gonna rise till we fall. When we hit the bottom, nothing gonna stop us. Climb to the top with you. We could be the greatest ones who never made it. Yeah, I could be talking to you.
Your race, the effort that you put into everything you do, that's your signature. You know, so it's like an artist, all right? Some people are artists. For runners, athletes, your art is your running, all right? So think about it. Okay, everything I do, I'm signing that.
you how it used to be. Would you go along with someone like me? If you knew my story word for word, had all of my history, would you go along with someone like me?
I did before and I had my share. It didn't lead nowhere. I would go along with someone like you. It doesn't matter what you did, who you were hanging with. We could stick around and see this night through.
I threw my phone into the sea. Simple human wouldn't know how to brush my teeth without asking my teeth. Living in the afterglow of everything you feel. But baby, I'm a short-lived joke, as soulless as I seem. And I'm everything you talk about. Why should you keep letting yourself be let down? If I'm everything you talk about, I'm in the mirror, baby, let it all out. Knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. Don't know my schedule on the 5th. John Taylor Swift. Got 100 million on my wrist. Physically sick. Crying at the airport. I'm sorry, can I get a pic? Telling me a sad story. Another reason not to quit. And I'm everything you talk about. Why should you keep letting yourself be let down? If I'm everything you talk about, I'm in the mirror, baby, let it all out. Knock yourself out. I wear a big smile, got a drink in my hand, I got a face tattoo, I'm not making the man, I got it. Hold on, take it back again, I got a pen and a feeling in the back of my head. I wear a big smile, got a drink in my hand, I drive a new blue black night, the streets bend, you got it. Hold on, take it back again, I got a brand new feeling in the back of my head.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Joaquin Sosa a round of applause for creating that awesome camp video for you.
Yes, thank you. And I forgot one thank you when I was up here. Coach Tickle, my roommate for the last 39 years here, and he does a lot of things like a brother to me, helps. I know you guys saw him, probably the pizza guy. But thank you, Donnie, for everything you've done here and behind the scenes. So thank you, everyone. Safe travels home. Stay in touch. Hope to see a lot of you next year. Bye.